For information, call 800-437-3394. If you've been denied a loan modification, harassed by your bank, stuck in document or voicemail hell, stop the madness and stay in your home. Call Gavalas Law Firm, 800-437-3394. Are you facing foreclosure? Received a summons and complaint behind on your mortgage? Gavalas Law Firm specializes in foreclosure defense and mortgage modifications. We will appear in court to defend your rights. Call 800-437-3394. That's 800-437-3394. A 2-minute conversation could change the rest of your life. No promises given or implied. Past outcomes do not guarantee future results. This is an attorney advertisement, not a non-attorney spokesperson. The Gavalas Law Firm, D.C. They want you to learn the evil beyond before buying a car. Just log on to carprousa.com and discover the modern solution to car shopping. Get a CarPro buying experience in Raleigh, Lexus. The station you know, the people you trust, 1010 wins. The news watch never stops. This is 1010 wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. 82 degrees at 3:20 on this Tuesday, June 20th. Lots of sunshine and lower humidity. A high of 84.
This is John Minko. The Yankees home after a 1-7 California road trip. It's the Yanks and Angels at the stadium. The Mets will pitch Robert Gesellman against the Dodgers tonight in Los Angeles.
I'm Bloomberg's Larry Kosky. The stock market holding steady in the final hour. The Dow with a loss of 25. The NASDAQ down 31.
Twin News Time 3. Dodge Traffic Center. Here's Greg Rice.
A lot going on by the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Let's tell you what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Brooklyn-bound Verrazano upper level. We've got 2 lanes knocked out with emergency repairs. We're starting to see a real slow go well before the tolls. Getting to the Brooklyn-bound Verrazano. Staten Island-bound upstairs and downstairs, just a whole lot of company. And getting to the Staten Island-bound Verrazano outbound Gowanus, a mess from Fort Hamilton Parkway. Westbound Belt from Knapp Street. The inbound George, as I see it on the jam cam, good ride up and down. Lincoln no more than 15 in or 10 to 15 out. Holland inbound we're fine. Outbound Holland at least 20 to 30 minutes from both Canal Street and the Varick Street approach. West Side Highway, the best way to approach the outbound Holland, at least for now. Getting to the Bronx-bound RFK, a mess from the Grand Central and the BQE. Northbound Van Wyck Whitestone Expressway combination across from the yellow line to the Whitestone Bridge. Clear view to the Throgs Neck, a better Bronx-bound ride. And the Queens-bound Throgs Neck and Whitestone Bridges, a mess through the tolls. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report at 3:31 on 1010 Wins.
Sponsored by Bradford White Water Heaters.
Hot water, not so hot anymore? This spring, give your water heater a professional tune-up. It'll improve efficiency and keep things steamy all year long. Search BradfordWhite.com to find a contractor near you.
Wins News Time 3:22. An official apology now after another frustrating day for commuters. We're not even into Penn Station's summer of hell. It was the subways that made people crazy this morning.
The MTA issued an apology and described 1930s era signal interlocking failures, which needed emergency repairs. The problem caused hours of delays on several lines heading into Herald Square. There were trains and overflowed subway platforms. The MTA also warns commuters against jumping off the train and walking the rails after reports that at least one person got off the F train that way to get to the next stop. The authority says there's a live third rail. The train could move at any time. The action's extremely dangerous. Juliette Papa, 1010 Wins at Herald Square.
This gentleman to the 1010 10 Winds newsroom, more potential terrorism in Europe. An explosion happened just a short while ago at Brussels Central Station in Brussels, Belgium. This coming from a senior Belgian law enforcement official. No word yet on any injuries. Stay with 10 Winds for the latest on this developing story. Winds News Time 3:24. The NYPD is looking for a man in 2 violent robberies in the subway in Lower Manhattan. First happened a week ago at the Spring Street platform on the C and E lines. The suspect approached a 50-year-old woman from behind, put a white cloth over her nose and mouth, displayed a knife, and got away with $70 in cash. The second incident, very similar, last Saturday. The same subway station, a 49-year-old woman was grabbed from behind, shown a knife, had a cloth put over her nose and mouth, and robbed of $75 cash. Days after the Bill Cosby trial ended in a hung jury, Andrea Constand, the woman who accused the comedian of sexual assault, is thanking supporters for an outpouring of love and kindness. Constand tweets, she is eternally grateful for the messages she's received in recent days. 82 degrees, mostly sunny in New York, going up to 84 in Midtown this afternoon. Winds News Time 3:25.
Looking for a great midweek family getaway? Experience the Villa Roma Resort, where for a limited time only, you can stay 4 nights and get a 5th night free during midweeks. Just 2 hours from Metro New York, the Villa Roma Resort offers a cruise ship on land experience with 4 pools, go-karts, bumper boats, golf, live entertainment, dozens of indoor and outdoor activities, and so much more. Villa Roma is offering deep summer discounts, but you have to act fast before they sell out. Book now and take advantage of the best prices of the season. Call 1-800-533-6767 or visit villaroma.com.
Guys don't really talk about antiperspirant. Despite that, 91% of Dove Men Plus Care users recommend it. Here's what they said.
It blocks the perspiration, I think is the fancy word. It's comfortable. That's what it does. My girl likes the smell. But it, I don't know. I think it's quite masculine. Yeah, underarms aren't the worst thing at the gym. It's kind of like the rear again for armpits, I guess.
Dove Men Plus Care antiperspirant. Tough on sweat, not on skin.
Winds News Time 3:26. Now Bloomberg Money Lot Watch on 10 Winds. Here is Larry Kofsky reporting live.
It's been a down day on Wall Street as traders take a breather after a strong rally yesterday. Bill Lynch, director of investments at Hinsdale Associates, says the market has probably gotten ahead of itself.
The fact that the market is trading at 18 times expected earnings certainly is worrisome from the standpoint that valuations are stretched. That being the case, I think earnings are going to have to go higher in order to justify current prices.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 41, the S&P 500 down 12, the NASDAQ Composite falling 37. United Airlines plans to add 100 of Boeing's newest 737 MAX jets to its fleet as its plans for a fleet overhaul begin to take shape. The planes give United a new generation of transcontinental jets to compete with American, Delta, and JetBlue. United Continental Holding is down $1.04. Whole Foods CEO John Mackey says it was love at first sight when he first met with Amazon. Mackey says he was assured that Whole Foods' quality standards will not change. Amazon is buying Whole Foods for $13.7 billion. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56. Past every hour. I'm Larry Kofsky for 10 Winds.
Winds News Time 3:27.
Okay, so which window company builds the best window? I bet you said Anderson, am I right? Patricia McCann here. Today, I'm talking to the local owner of Renewal by Anderson Replacement Windows, Larry Landis.
Hi, Patricia. Yeah, Anderson is the window that everyone wants, and Renewal by Anderson is the replacement window division of Anderson. And what's nice is you don't have to buy your windows in one place and then find someone else to install them. We do it all.
And based on what you were telling me earlier, homeowners really feel very comfortable with your installers.
Definitely. Every one of our installers gets a complete background check, which just gives customers that extra peace of mind. Because our installers are so good, we not only warrant our windows, but we warrant our installation too.
And very few companies will do that. So it sounds like if you need windows, this is the best time to call.
Yes, it is. Right now with our instant product rewards, save 20% on windows and patio doors, and your installation is included. And then with our financing, you won't pay anything for a year.
That's a very good deal, Larry. Save 20% on windows and patio doors, and your installation is included. And with your financing, don't pay anything for a year. For a free Renewal by Anderson brochure or window diagnosis, call 1-800-514-3600. 1-800-514-3600. That's 1-800-514-3600.
appointment online or call them today and you will see them today. Tomorrow's outlook is moderate with grasses, dock, and plantain the predominant plants. Radio Sausage presents life's biggest questions.
Yeah? Can I ask you a question?
Sure, son.
Where does sausage come from?
Where is your mother?
Oh, don't worry, honey. I got this. Everyone knows the best sausage comes from premium. In this house, we only trust sausage that's made with butcher quality cuts of meat, authentic Italian spices, and nothing else. The only thing added is my own special touch.
When sausage is the question, Premio is the answer. Premio, the way sausage should be. Summer's coming in tonight, and it's going to be a good night for sleeping after a couple of humid days. Clear to partly cloudy, comfortable. A low of 68 in Midtown, closer to 60 in some of the suburbs. For tomorrow, times of sun and clouds. A midday or afternoon shower and thunderstorm over parts of the north and west. A high of 84. Right now it is 82, mostly sunny in New York. Humidity down to 36%. Good afternoon, I'm John Dunlap. Winds News Time, 3:30.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Richard. Sean Spicer was back on camera today. The White House press secretary last held an on-camera briefing 8 days ago. Yesterday, he held an off-camera briefing, but reporters weren't even allowed to use the audio. When asked about it today, Spicer said the briefings are just one way they communicate, and he argued that the president himself has been more available to the press than his predecessor.
He's looked at a lot of data that suggests that when you look at the number of availabilities and interviews that the president has given, it's pretty significant compared to past administration.
Well, the Associated Press had reported that Spicer may be taking on a more strategic behind-the-scenes role and that the White House was having trouble finding someone who actually wanted to replace him. In recent weeks, cabinet officials and other White House advisors have been the ones out front. Well, Chief White House strategist Steve Bannon had a theory on why Spicer has been so camera-shy as of late. In a tongue-in-cheek response to the question from The Atlantic, Bannon said it's because Spicer has gotten fatter. In response, Chelsea Clinton accused Bannon of fat shaming. Winds News Time 3:31. From the Dodge Traffic Center, here's Greg Rice.
So here's where we stand on the subway, Susan. We are looking at northbound D and N trains running with delays because of something new. It's track maintenance at 36th Street in Brooklyn. B, F, and M trains, those are on or close to schedule. L trains Brooklyn bound still running a bit slow because of earlier signal problems. East side of Manhattan, FDR Drive, I'm seeing a crawl on the jam cam either way. Getting over towards Gracie Mansion. West Side Highway overall going to treat you better. The West Side Highway, the only good option you've got. And we're to the outbound side of the GWB. Everything else is a crawl. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound side of the George, I'm looking at a good ride upstairs and downstairs. Lincoln and Holland about 10 in. Outbound Holland, 20 to 30 minutes already. Verrazano, Brooklyn bound upper level, 2 lanes down for repairs. Staten Island bound Verrazano, very slow upstairs and downstairs. Outbound Gowanus, we're crawling from Fort Hamilton Parkway to the Verrazano. Westbound belt heavy from right around Knapp Street. Queens bound Throgs Neck and Whitestone Bridge. It's a mess getting into the tolls. Your next traffic and transit update in less than 10 minutes. The next breaking traffic alert when it happens. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Winds.
Traffic sponsored by Thomas Edison State University.
Finish your degree anytime, anywhere. Serving the needs of busy adults since 1972. Thomas Edison State University offers high-quality, affordable education, a generous credit transfer policy, and flexible ways to earn credit. Learn more at tesu.edu.
Now the 1010 Winds AccuWeather 4-day forecast from the ChevyOffers.com Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Dave Bowers with his live report.
Well, looking at a real pleasant evening, clear, good, partly cloudy sky through the night. We'll be in the 60s at daybreak and partly sunny, seasonably warm tomorrow. We'll get into the middle 80s. Parts of the area could see a brief shower or thunderstorm, especially over northwest Jersey and up into the Hudson Valley. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy. Looks like a partly sunny, nice day on Thursday, with a high about 83. Friday, warm and more humid. Clouds, breaks the sun, also a shower or thunderstorm around in the afternoon, a high about 88. And then it looks to be partly sunny and a little bit less humid again on Saturday, high 84. We're at 82 in Central Park with the sunshine and a west wind 16 miles an hour. Repeating the current temperature 82 going down to 68 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Dave Bowers on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds.
86 degrees on Staten Island, 89 in Sheepshead Bay. It's 82 at the Acme and Briarcliff, sponsored by Acme, your favorite local supermarket.
Relationships are about give and take. He'll take the action flicks. You want the rom-com. When it comes to sleep, no need to settle. Introducing the new Sleep Number 360 smart bed. The only bed smart enough to sense your movement and automatically adjust to both of you so you stay comfortable all night. Does your bed do that? Well, right now, save on Sleep Number 360 smart beds. Plus, it's the lowest prices of the season with our most popular 2016 P5 bed, now only $15.99. Save $500. For more details and to find a store near you, go to sleepnumber.com.
This is the sound of you chopping parsley. It's also the sound of you winning $1,000 a day for life. Because when you play Cash for Life from the New York Lottery, you could win $1,000 a day every day, giving you more free time to perfect Nana's lasagna. Cash for Life from the New York Lottery. If you won $1,000 a day for life, how would you spend it? Drawings every Monday and Thursday. Please play responsibly. You must be 18 or older to purchase a lottery ticket.
WINS News Time 3:34. Recent controversies over free speech on college campuses have caught the attention of Washington lawmakers. At a hearing today on Capitol Hill, Williams College student Zachary Wood insisted that his school promotes social tolerance, often at the expense of political tolerance.
Instead of nurturing thoughtful debate of controversial topics, many college educators and administrators discourage free debate by shielding students from offensive views. Yet, one person's offensive view is another person's viewpoint.
Phi Beta Kappa CEO Frederick Lawrence made this argument.
A university president has an obligation to speak out in the face of hateful speech, not to repress it, but to speak out.
The hearing was sparked by several incidents in which controversial speakers prompted violent protests and were subsequently blocked by school administrators. WINS News Time 3:35. Mayor de Blasio is keeping up pressure on state lawmakers to act before tomorrow's recess and renew a law that extends mayoral control over city schools. Holding a joint conference call with former U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan, urging Albany to pass that extension.
I have not met anyone in a leadership position in Albany who made the argument there is a better system of governance or that we should go back to 32 separate school boards with all the chaos and corruption that came with them.
Should lawmakers not act, the power that the mayor has under state law to choose the city schools chancellor and set educational policy will expire at the end of June. Senate Republican leader John Flanagan supports the mayor but wants more charter schools in return. WINS News Time 3:36. Vigils are planned here in New York and across the country in honor of Muslim teenager Nabra Hassanin, who was beaten to death as she walked with friends from a mosque in Sterling, Virginia last weekend. Police arrested 22-year-old Darwin Martinez Torres of El Salvador on murder charges. They say they recovered a baseball bat used in the killing. Police described the murder as a road rage incident and said there is no evidence to suggest it was a hate crime. 82 degrees now, mostly sunny skies, the humidity just 36%. The winds are variable at 6, gusting to 21 miles an hour. 82 going down to 68 tonight in Midtown. WINS News Time 3:37. We are hearing from Warner Brothers about the Bachelor in Paradise scandal. We'll tell you what they're saying in 1010 WINS Entertainment next.
For the first time ever, New York Land and Lake about Xi Jinping and his efforts to try to, put pressure on the Chinese. What's really remarkable today, in the wake of the death of Otto Warmbier, is the president's apparent realization or conclusion that the Chinese efforts, as much as he says, at least he knows they tried, it has not worked out. So again, we don't know what steps the president intends to take now, but it was news to us to see the president contradict his spokesman, because his spokesman this afternoon said that the United States will continue to work with the Chinese and others to put pressure on North Korea. And then the president tweets that it hasn't worked, and at least the Chinese tried. So now what is the U.S. going to do, and where's it going to turn? We really do not know.
CBS correspondent Stephen Portnoy. Thanks, Stephen. It's 3:37 on the afternoon roundup. Traffic and weather together next.
Sinai Chapels has provided compassionate care for 4 generations to New York's Jewish community. They have a large modern chapel and an attentive professional staff. Every funeral detail is handled according to each family's personal and religious preferences. Sinai Chapels is conveniently located in Fresh Meadows, Queens. Many Jewish families are turning to Sinai Chapel's experienced counselors to establish a pre-plan. With a Sinai pre-plan, families are relieved of dealing with making arrangements at a difficult time. There are cost savings from planning early, and every Sinai pre-plan is FDIC insured. Sinai's pre-plan counselors will meet with you at the chapel or in the comfort of your home. For detailed information, visit Sinai's helpful website at jewishfunerals.com. That's NewYork'sJewishFunerals.com or call Sinai Chapels today at 718-445-0300. That's 718-445-0300. Sinai Chapels in Fresh Meadows, Queens, providing Jewish families with pre-plans and compassionate support.
WCBS News Time, 3:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8, sponsored by Bayer Corporation. Good afternoon, Kelly Dillon.
Good afternoon, Michael. Let's start with some trouble on the Merritt Parkway. This report is sponsored by Jersey Mike's Subs. On Merritt Parkway, both directions are right by exit 35. In Stamford, we have an accident. The left lane's out each way, so we're seeing northbound delays back to exit 33. And southbound, you're jamming up back to 38. Also, we do have a broken down car on the southbound Connecticut Turnpike just past exit 14. That's sitting in the left lane. Minor slowdowns into that scene. In New Jersey, we have a crash now. Route 22 eastbound in Newark, approaching Freeland-Heisen Avenue. That takes it a lane on Route 78. Your best way around this one. Inbound Lincoln Tunnel, about a 15-minute wait back into New Jersey. That is also 15 minutes already. The outbound Holland, 20 to 30 minutes getting into the city. 10 minutes from both approaches. Heading to the outbound George west side, you're jammed up back to the 70s. The northbound FDR, pockets of delays for the 20s up to the RFK. Then again, between the 150s and the outbound George. Grab a sub and a 32-ounce Pepsi at Jersey Mike's, and you could win the music trip of a lifetime. Nope.
550-31.
Thank you for making 1010 Wins your #1 choice for news in New York.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. 82 degrees. It is 3:40 on this Tuesday, June 20th. I'm Susan Richard, and here's what's happening. It has been a stressful day for strap hangers, so much so that 2 people apparently tried to hop off a train between stations. We'll tell you what happened. The MS-13 gang is the subject of a congressional hearing today on Long Island. The Nevada Corrections Department is expected to announce today the date for a parole hearing for O.J. Simpson. And move-over Barbie Ken's gotten a makeover. 1010 Wins AccuWeather clear to partly cloudy tonight, down to 68 degrees.
This is John Minko. The Yankees look to snap the 6-game losing streak against the Angels at the stadium. How about Dodger rookie Cody Bellinger? 21 home runs in 51 games. Mets and Dodgers tonight in L.A.
I'm Bloomberg's Larry Kofsky. The stock market fading a bit as we head toward the bell. About 19 minutes left in the session, and the Dow is now down 50 points. The Nasdaq down 41.
Wins News Time 341. Concord traffic and transit on the ones, and here's Greg Rice.
It is a mess on the east side of town. This report sponsored by Target. FDR Drive, as we scan the jam cams, it looks like we've got trouble affecting you either way. Under the Rockefeller University, northbound is standstill getting there from right around the Brooklyn Bridge. Southbound from the 90s, and then the northbound Harlem River Drive, a very tough go of it. From the 130s to the GWB, just go for the West Side Highway instead. To Queens, eastbound Grand Central near the Clearview, it's a wreck knocking out 2 lanes and loading you up from the LIE, but the Long Island Expressway just as bad, if not worse, as it's a standstill from the BQE to the Nassau County line. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. As I see it on the jam cam, the inbound George looks good. West Side Highway, the best route out. Lincoln will call it 15 in, 10 out. Holland 10 in, 30 out from Canal Street or Varick Street. Better to the outbound Holland off of the West Side Highway. And now this message, running low on the stuff you need, time for a Target run. Get everyday low prices on everyday essentials like milk, toothpaste, and diapers. Target run and done. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
Wins News Time 342. Hopefully the rush home will be better than the slow crawl to work today, thanks to the problems on the 6th Avenue subway line with those signal troubles earlier at 34th Street. It was so bad that video surfaced of 2 men climbing out of a northbound F train between subway cars and leaping onto the tracks, apparently trying to make it to the station. Masha Barina is senior community organizer at the Riders Alliance. She says that should send a clear message to the MTA.
Putting any of their lives in danger is a terrible thing, but the fact that some people are actually so frustrated as to, jump off and on trains and onto platforms because of the extensive delays, I think is really indicative of a bigger problem.
In response, the MTA released a statement saying under no circumstances should anyone do what those people did unless instructed by the train crew. Spokesman Kevin Ortiz also said they are moving expeditiously to improve communication with customers. Heading above ground now, countdown clocks are coming to a bus stop near you.
If you like the new countdown clocks at some city bus stops.
Some enthusiasm for this one. Yeah, that's right.
That's Councilmember Dan Garodnick, who's funding clocks at 48 stops in Midtown and on the east side. John Raskin of the Riders Alliance says with so many problems underground,
it communicates to riders not only information that they need to make a decision, but it also communicates that the bus is becoming a
M66.
I have to show up a certain time. If I know that the bus is 2 minutes away, I'm going to wait for the bus. If I know the bus is 10 minutes away, then I'm going to walk.
Today, she got on the bus. Juliet Papa, 1010 wins at 68th and Lex.
The Long Island Railroad, responding to calls from Governor Cuomo to give riders reduced fares during track work at Penn Station this summer, has announced it will offer discounts. Customers will get an average fare reduction of 25% if you avoid Penn and travel instead to key transfer points, Atlantic Terminal, Hunters Point Avenue, and Long Island City. The railroad will provide free morning rush hour subway transfers from those stations. The discounted monthly tickets are now available, but will take effect July 10th. Wins News Time 3:44.
Listen up. Starting June 29th, you can earn extra money whenever you want driving with Uber in Long Island, Westchester, and the rest of New York State outside of NYC. All you need is your car and your New York driver's license. Driving with Uber is not just another job. It's a totally flexible way to earn extra cash. And now you don't need to have a special license or commercial plate to do it. Get your side hustle on. Sign up to drive with Uber today. Go to uber.com/NY. That's uber.com/NY. Certain restrictions apply. See site for details.
It's finally summer. Hi, this is Michael Cohen, and summer means the best values of the year on every new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz at Silk.
When you ship with the United States Postal Service, your business becomes our business. That's why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone else in the country. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
If there's one thing the pros at Advance Auto know, it's parts.
Advance Auto Parts and Batteries.
I'm on your website and it says I can buy online and then pick up in store.
Yes.
And how long does that usually take?
30 minutes or less.
I need a battery for my 2013 Ford Escape.
Our Autograph Gold, it's got a 3-year warranty.
Man, you really know your stuff. I'm 33. Am I too young for a cardigan?
Advance Auto Parts. We know everything about auto parts. Order online at advanceautoparts.com and pick up your order in store in just 30 minutes. Also at participating CarQuest stores. 82 and sunny here in Hudson Square. 84 tomorrow. Streaming live at radio.com and tune in at cbsnewyork.com. This is WCBS News Radio 88. Good afternoon. I'm Michael Wallace. Time for WCBS Sports with CBS Sports Radio's Rich Ackerman. And Michael, it's sponsored by GilletteOnDemand.com. Kristaps Porzingis didn't attend his exit interview following the season, which apparently ruffled a few feathers. It wasn't enough to trade the potential star. Yahoo Sports reports team president Phil Jackson is open to a deal involving the 21-year-old phenom, which has created a frenzy around the league. The Yankees had a day off yesterday to hit the reset button after a week out west that included 6 consecutive losses. 2 came against the Angels, who they'll face tonight at the stadium. Michael Pineda will get the start. 6 of his 7 wins this year have come to the Bronx. Parker Gridwell gets the call for the Angels. You can hear the game on the fan with pregame coverage beginning at 6:25. The Mets are in L.A. after a series opening loss last night to Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers. It'll be Santa Clara native Robert Gesellman on the mound tonight against Brandon McCarthy. Phil Mickelson and Kenny Bones McKay have parted ways after 25 years together. That included 5 major championships. 40 million Americans wake up to a Gillette shave. Gillette's working to bring you America's #1 shave for less. Go to GilletteOnDemand.com and get every 4th order free. Sports at 15 and 45 for Ackerman, WCBS News Radio 880 Sports.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restored 3 to 5 miles per tank, based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
Hi, this is meteorologist Craig Allen. Did you know the all-electric Chevy Bolt EV can go 238 miles on a full charge? That means you can go from Manhattan to the Hamptons and back on a single charge. And most people won't have to worry about recharging every day for most average commuting. Chevy cracked the code on electric vehicles with 238 miles of range for an affordable price. And people are really taking notice. The all-electric Chevy Bolt EV is not just a great electric car, it's a great car.
Now this message: when your office paper supply is in need of resupply, turn to Staples. Staples has everything you need to print at great prices. And right now, buy 1 ream of Staples 8.5 by 11 multi-purpose paper and get 1 free. A savings of $7.99. In store only ends June 24th. Staples, it's pro time. WCBS News Time and weather together, sponsored by Staples. Back to Kelly Dillon in the traffic center.
And let's start in Queens, where we have an accident on the eastbound Grand Central Parkway just past Hillside Avenue. 2 lanes are out, and these delays all the way back to LaGuardia Airport on the eastbound LIE. Not much better, bumper to bumper between the main QE and the Cross Island Parkway. After that, a pretty slow ride out to routes 106, 107. Getting reports now of a crash in the northbound FDR Drive in the 70s. These delays going back to the Williamsburg Bridge, and you'll see southbound rubbernecking back to the RFK. West side, a little bit better for you traveling northbound. We have delays back to the 70s, heading to the outbound George Washington Bridge. The westbound Cross Bronx, that is jamming up between the Bruckner and the outbound George. Northbound off the Bruckner by the Bronx River Parkway, a broken down car here that is sitting in the right lane. In New Jersey, western spur of the New Jersey Turnpike, a very slow ride this afternoon, traveling southbound from 16W to 15W. The eastern spur moving a bit better for you. Eastbound Route 22 and north by Freeland Heights and Avenue, an accident here. That's knocking out Loop Delane, Route 78, a great alternate to try instead. And your bumper to bumper in Westchester County, westbound 287 already from exit 6 to the Rockland County Bound Tappan Zee Bridge. Our next traffic update in less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
With the forecast, CBS 2's Lonnie Quinn. Wish we could have more of these.
You know what? You just got to be able to bottle it and repeat it. What you've got is a great afternoon. It's 82 right now with a pretty sky. A little breezy out there, some wind gusts over 15 miles per hour, but you know, nothing we can't handle. Yesterday had some gusts up around 60 miles per hour. Look at the damage that did. So a little breezy and beautiful. Tonight, a couple of clouds stick around, but it's a nice night, 68 degrees. Wednesday, you're partly sunny for a good chunk of the day. 84 is the high temperature. There is a slight 20% chance for a shower or a thunderstorm, primarily north and west, but you can't rule it out for anybody. But at 20%, it's a slight risk. Get to Thursday, good-looking day, sunshine, 82. Friday, more clouds come to the area, 87. It's going to be a hot one out there on Friday, and there is going to be about a 30% risk for some wet weather. But Saturday now looking good, partly sunny and 84 for your day on Sunday, mostly sunny and 82. In the CBS Weather Center, have a good one. I'm Lonnie Quinn.
Now the WCBS Allergy Report, sponsored by Mount Sinai National Jewish Health Respiratory Institute, ranked best pulmonology hospital. The pollen count is low to medium today, 4.1. Grasses, dock, and plantain are the predominant pollens. 3:51 on the WCBS Afternoon Roundup. It was hot here the last couple of days, but it's been really hot in the southwest, where more flights are being canceled because of that heat wave. CBS News correspondent Chris Van Cleve is joining us from Phoenix. Chris, how hot is it?
Well, it's only about 111 right now. Only. Well, it's going to get a lot hotter. It could go as high as 120 when we get to the peak heat time here in another 2 to 3 hours.
Are we flirting with records here, or have some already fallen?
So the record for today is 116. We're likely to break that. The all-time record, the hottest that's ever been recorded in Phoenix, was at Sky Harbor Airport, where I'm sitting. It was 122. Now, that was back in the 90s. It's only broken 120 about 3 times in recorded history. So this is really, really hot, even for the Valley of the Sun, as Phoenix is called. It feels a bit more like the surface of the sun today.
Yeah, I mean, the ongoing joke, of course, is it's a dry heat out there, but can you put into words how hot it feels for those of us who've never been in 116-degree weather?
Sure thing. So yesterday, we were standing outside at the peak of the heat. It was 118 degrees, and there was a breeze. It felt like being hit in the face with a hairdryer, except that hairdryer is blowing hot air on all of you. It is very, very hot. It is a dry heat, but, you know, when we're talking about 118, 120 degrees, that's just hot. And keep in mind, if you're standing on blacktop like we were, you have heat radiating up. The blacktop is giving off heat at about 150 degrees.
Wow. So are people out and about, or is everyone inside?
Well, people are out, and we're just out on the tarmac with the American Airlines baggage handlers. They're working today, and basically, they work for a little while, they go to a cooling station, they go back and work for a while, they go to a cooling station. It is hot, it is grueling, and it is cumulative, and, you know, American and some other airlines have had to cancel flights here today because when we get to about 118, there are some of the planes that can't take off safely, so it actually may be too hot to fly some airplanes at points today.
What's the safety problem, potentially?
Well, as it gets hotter, it's harder to generate lift, so it's purely a function of how much work do you need to generate the lift to get the plane off the ground safely, and in some cases, particularly with some of the regional jets, you know, the ones where you can't really fit your bag in the overhead bin, it just gets too hot for them. The Boeing and the Airbus can go to about 125, 127, somewhere in there. We're not going to get anywhere near that, but there will be some times where it may be too hot for some planes to take off.
All right. Arizona. WCBS News Time 3:53 on the afternoon roundup.
Come on, Grandpa, we're almost to the top.
Be right there.
When it's difficult to breathe, it's difficult to keep up with the things that matter. More than 1 in 4 Americans suffers from chronic or life-threatening lung conditions, including asthma, pulmonary hypertension, and COPD. National Jewish Health, the nation's leading respiratory hospital, and the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai have joined together to bring New York the respiratory care center it needs. The Mount Sinai National Jewish Health Respiratory Institute. With treatment programs that specialize in respiratory disease and a team of top experts, New York can now breathe easier than ever before.
Grandpa?
Come on, Slowpoke.
For more information or to make an appointment, visit therespiratoryinstitute.org or call 800-563-3498. The Mount Sinai National Jewish Health Respiratory Institute.
Is Greg a good name for a chameleon?
Searching Caribbean. All over the world, including the Caribbean, Bermuda, Alaska, and Europe.
Do they sail from around here?
Searching. They have ships sailing year-round from New York City and Miami.
Oh, and they have their free at sea promotion too, so I could choose up to 5 free offers. Like free unlimited open bar.
Like is an understatement.
Or free specialty dining.
I wish I could taste things.
I could choose free shore excursions.
Don't forget me. I have a camera.
There's free Wi-Fi.
Or you could bring friends and family for free, like your wife. Not Greg.
Maybe I should book a suite or the Haven and get all that.
That's a win, 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 win. Norwegian Cruise Line. Feel free. Book now and get 1, 2, or all 5 offers for free, up to $2,500 in value. Visit ncl.com, call your travel professional, or call 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Ships Registry, Bahamas and USA.
WCBS News Time 3:55. Business news sponsored by Fairfield University's Dolan School of Business. Here's Tracy Johnke at Bloomberg.
Michael, the stock market is falling from records, and the oil market is now in a bear market. Crude futures have fallen more than 20% from their peak of this year to the lowest prices last September, $43.25 a barrel. You know that's having a stock market impact. The Dow is down 60 points from its record, the NASDAQ down 48, the S&P down 16. I'm Tracy Johnke, Bloomberg Business for WCBS News Radio 880.
Get the edge you need in this highly competitive, complex business world. Continue your education at Fairfield University's Dolan School of Business. We offer flexible and convenient MBA, accounting, finance, and business analytics graduate programs that, according to U.S. News and World Report 2016 rankings, are among the best in the nation. Highly ranked and only 10 minutes from your door. The Dolan School of Business. Take yourself further. Learn more at fairfield.edu/businessinfo. The following message is paid for by Tenac.org.
Rights group that serves the Syrian community. Just when we thought we'd seen the ultimate evil loosed upon his own people by Bashar al-Assad, now comes crematoria for the disposal of countless additional victims. This should not stand. Taconic has demonstrated against Assad for 5 years. We have demanded and will continue to demand a no-fly zone in Syria for the protection of what's left of that brave, suffering population. For more information, visit us at Taconic.org.
Finish your degree anywhere. Serving the needs of busy adults since 1972. Thomas Edison State University offers high-quality, affordable education, a generous credit transfer policy, and flexible ways to earn credit. Learn more at tesu.edu. WCBS News Time 3:58. The weather together on the daily dealer in the traffic
northbound Connecticut Turnpike in Norwalk. We have a crash in the left lane right by exit 17. These delays stretching all the way back to exit 3. The eastbound Grand Central Parkway, bumper to bumper, LaGuardia Airport, out to Hillside Avenue. A crash here blocking 2 lanes of the eastbound LIE. That is from the BQE to the Cross Island Park. And a very slow right to routes 106, 107. Northbound FDR Drive, a new accident just popped up right by 42nd Street. That's in the left lane. Then farther north in the 70s, reports of another accident closing at least a lane. And now the forecast from the WCBS Weather Center.
Well, right now, 82 degrees with a nice sky. For tonight, overnight low takes you down to the upper 60s, about 68. Going into your day on Wednesday, you're mostly sunny. There's going to be a slight chance for a pop-up shower or storm. High temp 84. Leading into the best day of the week. Thursday, mostly sunny, 82 degrees. Good rain chance with a high of 87. And the weekend now looking better. Temperatures in the 80s. In the CBS Weather Center, I'm Roddy Quinn.
Celebrating 50 years of news in New York. This is News Radio 880, WCBS, WCBS HD, WCBS FM, HD2, New York.
Good afternoon, Tuesday, June 20th. I'm Steve Scott. Here's the latest from the WCBS newsroom. There are reports of explosion-like noises at a train station in Brussels. Belgian officials say a person has been, in their words, neutralized. The U.S. says North Korea is responsible for the death of American student Otto Warmbier. President Trump calls it a disgrace. Frustrated scraphanger got out of a stalled subway train this morning and started walking on the tracks in the tunnel. At the closing bell, the Dow down 16.3 points, S&P down 15, the Nasdaq down 49. Yankees home against the Angels tonight. The Mets are at the Dodgers. It's 4
CBS News. I'm Dave Barrett. A warning from the state. Adventure seekers.
Do not go to North Korea. We can't get to you there.
As follows the death of 22-year-old American student Otto Warmbier. He returned to the U.S. the other day in a coma and never came through. Warmbier had been held by North Korea since a year ago January after he reportedly stole a propaganda banner. 3 other Americans remain detained by the North. The Trump administration had leaned on China to make some headway. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The president tweets while he greatly appreciates China's efforts with North Korea, they have, quote, not worked out. It was just 45 minutes earlier that the president's spokesman said this. We had, I think, positive movement on China. Press Secretary Spicer told reporters the U.S. would continue working with China to put the appropriate pressure on North Korea. But his boss's tweet suggests those efforts have failed. Begging the question, now what? Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Healthcare replacement, how's that bill coming in the Senate? It's being discussed in closed-door sessions, but Majority Leader Mitch McConnell promises
Everybody will have an adequate time to take a look at it.
California Democrat Dianne Feinstein.
There's not going to be a hearing. We shouldn't vote. I think no hearing, no vote.
There is a push to get that plan finished before senators take off for the July 4th recess. Overseas, a small explosion at Central Station in Brussels, and police then confronted a man whom officials say has been neutralized. It's not clear if the suspect is dead. It's not certain that he was wearing an explosive vest. Brussels security has been upgraded since the airport and metro were bombed last year. Stateside, Tropical Storm Cindy showing up waters in the Gulf of Mexico. There could be some heavy downpours, says Michael Brennan with the National Hurricane Center.
We're expecting 6 to 9 inches of rain with isolated amounts as high as 12 inches from southeastern Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle through Thursday.
6th Congressional District in Georgia. Special election today to fill the vacant House seat that's been held by the GOP. 1979, Republican Karen Handel told her backers this morning.
Everybody should watch me putting on my I voted sticker since my opponent can't do that today.
Her opponent, Democrat John Ossoff, doesn't live in that district. In the aftermath of a Tesla crash last year in Florida,
The National Transportation Safety Board says the Tesla driver ignored 7 visual warnings and 6 audio cues to put his hands on the wheel. Investigators say 40-year-old Joshua Brown drove autopilot on, hands off, nearly 40 minutes on a Florida highway before the car crashed into a big rig. He held the wheel for all of 25 seconds. He was 9 miles over the 65-mile-an-hour speed limit. Tesla says it wasn't a self-driving vehicle, and drivers were told to stay vigilant. The NTSB report is not final, so there is no definitive cause of the crash yet. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
Wall Street at the close, the Dow's down 61, NASDAQ minus 50. This is CBS News.
New York's trusted source for news and information. We are WCBS News Radio 880.
Good afternoon, mostly sunny and 82 degrees. City down into the 60s for a low overnight. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a chance of an afternoon shower and a high of 82. WCBS News Time, 4:03.
The Jeep Bridge and Tunnel Update.
20 to 25 minutes already at the inbound to Lincoln. Back into New Jersey, 15 to 20 minutes. The outbound Holling Tunnel, a 20 to 30-minute wait, and getting into the city, 10 from both approaches. I'm Kelly Dillon, Traffic Center.
On yet another day of subway delays, at least one commuter took matters into his own hands this morning. He got out of his train and walked on the track in the subway tube. The man was on the northbound F train near 34th Street. He was so frustrated that he was going to be late to work that he got out of the train in the tunnel and started walking. Not surprisingly, the MTA says that is a bad idea, saying in a statement that between the electrified third rail and the possibility the train might start moving, the man could have been seriously injured or worse. Police are looking for a man wanted in 2 knife-point robberies at the Spring Street subway station. WCBS reporter Rich Lamb with that story.
Transit Chief Joe Fox says the NYPD is looking for a knife-wielding man who robs women after they get off an AC or E train at Spring Street in the Village. He comes at them from behind.
He approaches them on the stairway, which makes them even more vulnerable. Puts a white rig of some type over their mouth and demands money. In one case, he produced a knife. In another, he did not. In the first case on Tuesday, the woman gave him $70. In the second one, the woman became so upset, understandably so, dropped a pocketbook, and he just went and grabbed some of what was in the pocketbook, including her cell phone.
The NYPD has a picture of the suspect from turnstile video, and they're asking the public's help to identify him. At Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn, Rich Lamb, WCBS News Radio 880.
And we have that photo of the suspect at cbsnewyork.com.
This just in to the WCBS newsroom.
There has been a crane in Queens in Long Island City. Early reports that 2 people may be trapped. This is on 28th Road in Long Island City. 31-25, 28th Road to be exact. Not a whole lot of details. We're looking at some pictures from the chopper overhead, and the fire department working feverishly trying to get to some people in what looks like it may have been a building under construction. But again, this crane collapse in Long Island City. Fire department on the scene. Early reports that 2 people may be trapped. Stay with us as we bring you the latest. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman has filed a lawsuit to end what he calls the harassment of women entering a health clinic in Queens. WCBS reporter Peter Haskell with that story.
Demonstrators outside this abortion clinic have been described as vicious and hostile. Margot Garner comes here to protect patients.
No, I get so close that they're physically bump people. They step on people's feet repeatedly.
Attorney General Eric Schneiderman is asking for a preliminary injunction.
Seeking a 16-foot buffer here because that's just the length, the size of the sidewalk.
Schneiderman